David Wood gives a response to our request for him to forgive Sam Shamoun. And this is going to be a lot to unpack. But before we get started, make sure you hit that like button so this video can go out into the algorithm to people just like you, and it can help this channel grow. So let's get into it, y'all. This is a lot to unpack, and man, I'm glad that we finally got our response. So this was last night, and I'm glad I ran into this live. And this was actually one of the longest live that they had. It was 6 hours long on Sam Shamoun. 6 hours long. Most of their videos are like 4 hour or 2 hours. This was 6 hours, y'all. I was like, wow. So this is the part where he respond to us, all of us, who requested for him to just forgive Sam. And this is what David Wood said.
Stuff because I just simply continued to say what I had been saying ever since our friendship began and before that, and he changed his mind, right? So he started attacking me, and of course I didn't go to you and say you can't be friends with him. Now that would have been stupid and it wouldn't have had any impact on you anyways, but I'm just saying that's not how I do things either. But I've said repeatedly, this is something I said to Thaddeus, but I used to say it on my channel too, that people would come on and they'd say things like, you need to forgive Sam or something like this for all this stuff.
I hear that. I hear that 20 times a day. I get my David. Why can't you just forgive Sam? What do you mean? Do you mean that when he's talking about pissing on people's mothers and everyone's mother's a whore and he wants to help people grape their mothers and stuff, I just have to be, well, I'm just going to forgive him all that and now let's work together again. It would be one thing if he had some radical change. Oh, guys, I was so wrong. I'll never do that again. It's not. It's I'm going to behave terribly, worse than any Dawa guy that you're pointing out when you point out the Dawa guy's behavior. I'm going to be massively worse, and you have to be unquestioningly loyal to me and affirming towards me anyway. That's his condition. Those are the conditions for working with Sam. Guess what? No, it doesn't work like that. That would be completely unbiblical. And you've got these Christians who, keep in mind, they're well-meaning. Oh, you guys are arguing. Oh, shame on you. It would just be, that happens sometimes, guys. Sometimes you have to deal with false teachers. Sometimes you have to deal with terrible behavior. If you don't think that's the case, you really need to stay away from your Bibles because it's just going to upset you and hurt your feelings.
Yeah. Where I was going with that is I had told that.
So that's his response. And I totally get it. But one thing that I notice is when I'm watching this, I know y'all like to be like, oh well, David Wood, he's a psychopath. Like he have no emotions. Those are emotion, guys. To me, those look like it's something. It's eating at him. He don't like it, right? I mean, if he obviously if he didn't care, he wouldn't be speaking on it a lot, right? And I did my research, and actually, psychopaths, which I don't even like to classify him as a psychopath. I feel like Jesus really freed him from that. But psychopaths, they do have emotions. It's just a little bit different from ours, from my research. Also, psychopaths do have resentment. They can, and it just can be a little bit different than ours. So I would think that I would say that's probably an excuse for us to use, because I mean, I don't want to say he don't have any feelings. I genuinely do believe that David would have feelings, and it bother him, and he have all the right to be bothered by Sam. Now, I don't want to take that from him at all. I totally get how he feel. Like I understand. So that's the first part of his response. And I just want to. I'm wondering if I want to play this video next that pretty much teaches us what forgiveness is and the whole basically the steps of forgiveness, right? And so yeah, we're gonna play that, and then we're gonna play the next part of David Wood response because I think it does line up with what he said when he said that's because he did say that wouldn't be biblical, right? And the first time I heard that, I was like, what? What do you mean? Like forgiveness is biblical. But when I checked out this video, I totally get what he's saying. So this is only 8 minute video. This is a Catholic guy. What are the odds of this being a Catholic guy? But anyway, let's check this out.
So I have done videos in the past on forgiveness, what forgiveness is, and so I just want to recap that a little bit. Not to repeat myself. Not to repeat myself. Hi, my name is Father Mike Schmitz, and this is Ascension Presents. I think it's worth noting that forgiveness is not the same thing as I'm over it. Forgiveness is not the same thing as, oh, don't worry about it, there's nothing to forgive. Forgiveness is not the fact that, like, oh, I feel fine now, I'm not hurt anymore. That none of those things are forgiveness. Forgiveness is nothing more and nothing less than rooted in justice. Again, this is so important for us. Forgiveness has to be rooted in justice, or else it's fake, it's a fiction, it's not real. Here's what I mean. Whenever someone has done something to us, to you, or you've done something to another that has hurt them, it's cost them something. When someone has hurt you, it's cost you something. And so in justice, what is justice? Justice is giving someone what they're due, like getting what you're owed. And so if someone's hurt you, in justice, you're supposed to get paid back. They ought to try to give you back what they took. And that's just justice. It's not being mean, it's not being hateful, it's not being small or petty. It's simply, that's the virtue of justice. So where does forgiveness come in? Forgiveness is kind of 3 moves here. First move is I have to note it. I have to realize, okay, wait a second, slow down. I've been hurt. Like this has happened to me. Or I've hurt you. This is what I've done to you. Okay, I have to stop and note it. The second thing I have to do.
I think both need to pay attention to that part. Because I think both of them pretty much hurt each other. Like they said some things about each other, right? Whether it's true or not, like it's hurtful. Let's just be real. It's hurtful. So yes, that right there. And also something that was lost or taken away, like that would be trust. Obviously, trust was lost in this whole situation.
So I have to count the cost. I truly have to do this. And this goes all the way back to the Gospels where Jesus is talking about, he's giving a parable. He's talking about the master who has a servant, and the servant owes him a huge amount. In the New American Bible, it says a huge amount, but actually in the original Greek, it says 50,000 talents, which is more than any normal person could pay off in many, many lifetimes. So what happened is the master has counted up the cost, right? He knows exactly how much his servant owes him. This is so important for us as well. If someone has hurt you, the first step of forgiveness is noting this and noting that they owe you something. Second is, what did they owe you? Add it up, tally it up. What has this person cost you? Because the third step of forgiveness
cost a lot of people trust. So with David Wood and everybody like lost trust of Sam in this whole situation. I think a lot of people have lost trust. There's so many people that he have hurt that they lost trust, right? On Sam part, it sounds to me, based off the stuff that I've seen, I feel like he lost some trust too, based off what he said about God logic, by him telling him that, but also I the more I look at this, I do think there's way more on Sam, if I'm being real. Um, and so what have it cost Sam in this whole situation. Um, I would say relationships is caused relationship. People taking their relationship away from Sam, right? And so but it's due to his actions. It's due to Sam's action which caused him to lose that relationship with people. And it it just is what it is. Bottom line is what it is. I can't even like really think of nothing that anyone can do for Sam other than maybe the trust part. But I don't know if they promised not to. Like, I don't know if God Logic promised not to talk to David Wood or whatever. So, you know, um, but this is something Sam gonna have to work through, right? Obviously, it shows that maybe Sam never trusted anyone. Maybe that's something that he gonna have to go to God for. So that's my point on that. I'm not trying to like just be one sided here, but I'm just calling it for what it is. And I don't know what other things Sam, feel like he lost in this other than like trust and relationship on his side. But on the Christians, like the other apologists side, that would be a trust. Like cost them their trust. They don't trust Sam no more. So it is what it is.
Is a decision. The third step of forgiveness is basically saying what Jesus says, the Master says in the gospel, and he says, I release you from your debt. That's it. It's not a matter of like, I'm over it. Again, as I said before, it's not a matter of like, this doesn't bother me anymore. This is, you owe me this. This is what you owe me. Injustice is what you should pay me. I'm not going to make you pay me back. That is all forgiveness is. That's what forgiveness is. Because sometimes we hold on to it, right? We hold on to it. They can't pay us back. In fact, in the gospel, in the parable, that guy could never possibly pay his master back in a 1,000 years. Maybe not hundreds of lifetimes, but dozens of lifetimes. I'll do the math at some point. You could never pay him back. So if you were to hold on to it, he would simply be, it's kind of like this unforgiveness a lot of times is making your enemy poison, but drinking it yourself. So what's forgiveness?
That's a hard one. That's a hard one. That is a very hard one. And that's what's going on. Like all the back and forth is poison. It's just poison. All the back and forth. I don't think there should be any back and forth in this situation. I think that's the biggest issue is the back and forth. And the reason why I want to bring God Logic up in this situation because God Logic gives us a perfect example of how to deal with situation. Like God Logic been through a lot, y'all. Like I think he been doxxed. His wife picture been shown a lot of time. I don't know why my camera is glitching. I think somebody is on the Wi-Fi themselves. But God Logic been yeah, I think he been doxxed. Um his wife picture been shown. He been talked bad about. Sam Shamoun doing all that stuff to him. Orthodox the the Orthodox Christian, the Ortho bros been saying bad stuff about him. You got the Muslim doing crazy stuff, and yet God Logic been standing in his own lane and really haven't been responding. He maybe responded maybe once or twice, but there's no back and forth. There's no back and forth at all. We haven't heard anything from God Logic when it come down to Sam Shamoun. So I think that's like the best approach when dealing with situations. Because as y'all notice, when the Ortho Bros was saying all this stuff about God Logic just ignored it and it kind of watered down a little bit. Now, of course, you got Sam kind of bringing it up again and trying to, light that fire again. But hey, God Logic still doing his thing. There's no back and forth. There's none of that, right? And he's letting God deal with him. And so I think that's the best approach when dealing with a situation like this Because the more you go back and forth, the more you're gonna just keep getting heated and heated, and that person's gonna keep doing it. Especially if they don't have no change of heart, they're gonna keep doing it. They're gonna try their best to one up you every time.
Forgiveness is, I note this, it's real. Justice demands that this is what you cost me, and now I just release you from your debt. I'm not going to wait around to make you pay me back. That's all I forgive you is. Now, here's the next part. The next part is forgiveness is not reconciliation. This is because that's all review. This is maybe something new. Forgiveness is not the same thing as reconciliation. Forgiveness is, I'm not going to make you pay me back. Reconciliation is something different. And there's a third step that's something even more different. Because we know this. We know that a person can hurt us and we can say, okay, I let it go. But also, I'm going to let you go. That's actually a wise thing that you can do in your life. Is here's a friend. Here's someone who's part of your life. And maybe they're a deep part of your life, but at some point they've hurt you so much that you realize, okay, I can't hold on to this hurt. I need to let them go. I need to release them from their debt, what they owe me.
And I will say that's what David Wood done. A lot of them have. They cut Sam off. That was wise. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Cut him off. I think where they mess up at is responding or talking about him a lot. No, it's yes. That's when I said this is a lot to unpack because they're taking up for the brothers and sisters that he's slandering and stuff, and I get that. But there's just a point when you just gotta fully cut him loose. Because the more attention you give him, the more he's gonna keep talking. So don't give him nothing to talk about. Just don't respond. And I know that's very hard. That's very hard because he's gonna constantly do things, right? Gonna constantly keep going, but eventually you get burnt out talking about someone who's not giving you a response.
At the same time, I need to let them go as well. I can't hold on to them. I can't trust them in my life because that's one of the casualties, right, of being hurt is trust. One of the casualties of being hurt is the relationship itself. So it's one thing to say, I release you from your debt. It's another thing to say, and I release you from this relationship. I release you from this friendship, at least from the depth that we shared before this. The next step is reconciliation. But reconciliation,
the hard part.
It's okay if that takes time. We remember that forgiveness is a process. It's rarely an event. It's rarely one moment of like, I release you from your debt, now it's all fine. It's usually, I have to be reminded of this. I have to choose it again and again in order for it to kind of really sink in. And something similar is true when it comes to reconciliation. If I want to reconcile with this person, it's rare that I can just give them all of my trust immediately once again. Facts. So what we realize is there's a process of reconciliation.
It's a process, y'all. We can't expect for this thing to happen overnight. It's a process. And David Wood's going to touch on that in the next part of the video I'm going to play after this.
In that process of reconciliation is, I'm going to give you a little bit of trust and see what you do with it. In this particular, especially in this area that you hurt me. No, especially in those relationships that we have.
A little bit of trust. Hang on to that part too. A little bit of trust.
That are meant to go our entire lives, that are meant to last our entire lives. Maybe those relationships we even vowed to be part of. It's like, okay, I forgive you. Reconciliation is piece by piece, little by little, bit by bit. I'm going to hand you a little bit more of the thing you damaged. That could be my heart. That could be my trust. That could be my whatever the thing is. The analogy I always like to think of is if you lend someone your car, right? You lend them your vehicle and they injure it. They break it. Can you injure cars? They hurt the car. They broke the car. They wrecked the car. And it cost you $1,500. Like justice says, you owe me $1,500. If I forgive you, that costs me something. I say, I release you from your debt. You don't owe me $1,500. So I'm not necessarily going to let you drive my car again, right? That's forgiveness. But reconciliation would be maybe something along the lines of, okay, can I begin trusting you with my vehicle again? That thing that you damaged, you have to demonstrate to me that my trusting you with it is not me being foolish. You have to demonstrate to me that I actually can trust you with this. And that begins the process of reconciliation. And as that reconciliation happens, then you have this third thing, and that's called restoration. So forgiveness, I release you from your debt. Reconciliation, the process for us as human beings is, okay, I'm going to extend a little bit of my trust, of this thing that you damaged. And if you grow in this, if we grow in this, we can have this third reality. And that third reality is restoration. Restoration after an injury, restoration after an injury can often become even greater than before, right? The relationship can even be greater than before. Now, when it comes to the Lord, he not only offers us forgiveness immediately, he offers us reconciliation immediately. He offers us restoration immediately. In fact, think about in the Gospels, once again, you have Simon Peter, who denies knowing Jesus 3 times in a row. He weeps bitterly, he repents, he comes back to the Lord, and when he sees Jesus on the shores of the Sea of Galilee, he dives into the water, swims to him, and at one point, shortly after this, what does Jesus ask him? He says, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these? Yes, Lord, you know I love you. He asks him a second time and a third time, do you love me more than these? And after he says he loves him, all 3 times he says, feed my sheep, tend my lambs, feed my sheep. Remember, Peter was given the role of being the Al-Habaid. He was given the role of being the Pope. He was given the role of being the shepherd in place of the good shepherd, Jesus himself. And what does Jesus say? At the end of this whole gospel, he says, okay, Peter, you're restored. Feed my sheep. Peter, you're restored. Tend my lambs. Peter, you're restored. Feed my sheep. Because when we come to the Lord, he's not waiting around to trust us again. He just trusts us, which is bonkers and bananas, but it's so good. So, forgiveness.
I love that about the Lord. Because think about it. If he was like us, ooh, boy. Wow. That would be not so fun. Not so fun, y'all.
Reconciliation and restoration. God offers those things to us immediately in the sacrament of confession. So my invitation is, if you need forgiveness, go to confession. If you need reconciliation, go to confession. And if you need restoration, go to confession. Jesus wants to give you those things. And if you need to give forgiveness, do it. If you need to give reconciliation, do it wisely. And if there's something that's been broken that needs to be restored, then do it with the grace that's been given to you through the sacrament of reconciliation. For all of us here.
So that was good. I'm not Catholic though, so confession would look a little different. um that was really good though, because I believe that they are at the beginning phase of forgiveness. They already like cut him loose. I think the next step is to like just don't pay him no attention of what he's saying. But also keep in mind this part, what David Wood said. And I think this is really good of David Wood right here. This is really good. I'm glad he said this, because I was a little worried about my boy. I'm not even gonna lie. But when he said this, I like, this makes sense. This makes sense.
He was a fundamentalist, like an independent fundamentalist Baptist at some point in his life.
Anthony changed, right? Has Anthony changed from when he was a theological beast to now?
I debate you, but he's never going to do that, right? It's like, well, I was going to give an example from a song lyric, but I'll let that go. But it's basically, I was thinking of the MLM lyric where he needs to publicly acknowledge it when there are better people.
Correct the corruption of the Quran from the third caliph. Anyone that wishes to follow Muhammad needs to follow Joseph Smith because he was Mormon. That is
certainly not half the character. I'll give Trent his props.
I gotta find the part. It said 208, so it could be anywhere in here. Oh yeah. This is it. This is it. Okay. Someone asked, what are the chances that Sam say, you know what, guys, I was wrong, and I need to apologize. I've been attacking innocent people out of pride. So let's just ride it from here.
Sweet mullet. When is that guy going to come to the live? God bless you all. Pray for PayPal. Pray for Dogecoin. The last thing I want is for Sam to expose himself. Yep, no one wants to see that. What are the chances that Sam says, you know what, guys, I was wrong and I need to apologize. I've been attacking innocent people out of pride. Wouldn't be impossible, but even if he did say that, because I've heard him say things like that before, and then he turned around and was actually worse as soon as he got people back on his side, including me. That we'd have to just look. Every time you said something like that in the past, it turns out you're full of crap and you're just trying to win people back after you did something horrible and they parted ways with you. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on you for a good while before
Yeah.
we determine whether your fruit actually shows that you've changed. Hi, Anthony. God bless you, guys.
He's right. He is exactly right. And one part that I wanted to point out too, where David Wood said, um, this part, I think.
For a good while before we determine whether no one wants to see that. What are the chances that Sam says, you know what, guys, I was wrong and I need to apologize. I've been attacking innocent people out of pride. Wouldn't be impossible, but if
He said it wouldn't be impossible. So that let us know that there's some type of hope there. They have some type of hope for Sam. That's good. That's a good sign, y'all. That is a really good sign. Um, Now, do I believe that this is going to take a long time? Yes, this is going to be a long process. This is going to be a long process. Both parties going to have to forgive, and I believe like part of it is going to be they're gonna just like. I mean, David Wood, they already cut him loose. They've been done with him. But I think moving forward, there's no talking about Sam no more. I don't think so. We already know he's probably gonna do some stuff or say some stuff, right? But I think it comes to a point where you just don't entertain it no more. Um, and let's just focus on the bigger issue. Because the more they give him attention, the more this fire just gonna keep burning, right? This fire is gonna continue to burn. It's gonna continue to burn, sting, and hurt. They're just gonna keep slandering each other, and it's just I honestly I don't know if me personally could even handle doing that. Like just continue to go back and forth with someone. But I think David Wood I think they'll eventually stop. I really do. Because I do genuinely believe they have some hope there. I feel like deep down there's some love there still. But the forgiveness part, they already started the process. They cut him loose. I think the next part is to not give him no attention, and then you know, um, eventually reconciliation and restoration. If they want that, that's if they want that. And Sam Fruit will have to show in order for them to even want that. So I don't knock them for the decision to cut him loose based off what we just saw. And on Sam part, honestly, I think he need to do the same, cut them loose, and focus on his own thing. Spend some time with the Lord. Ask God what he want, and not about what he want. It's not about what Sam want. It's about what God want. I think that what Sam need to look at. It's not about what he want, but it's what God want. Because by Sam not getting what he want, that's the reason we're in this situation in the first place. And I'm just being real. And hey, that's probably what caused him to be hurt is him not getting what he want. But maybe we need to reevaluate some things here. And I just pray that both of these guys, be able to work something out, be able to get past this, whether they work together or not. I just really pray that they get past this. Um, because that's the type of heart that I have. And we actually can learn from this situation when it come down to even the Muslims. Like I know that's hard. That's a hard one, right? But at the end of the day, we are supposed to love our enemies, and that can be tough. But I think God Logic is, man, that dude is, that man is really showing us how to deal with situation. I think God Logic example is one of the best example of how to deal with situation, because it can allow for reconciliation and restoration. So with that being said, man, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I thought this video was going to be longer than this, but it's not. But it's all good. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like this video. This channel is where we react to things that's going on in the world, whether that be in the apologetic space or in testimonies. We learn and we teach here. And other than that, man, I hope y'all have a blessed day. I'm out.